Have I been like a Yasoda? Have I taken care of Krishna? Have I been like Lakshmana? Have I served Rama? Have I done this? Have I done that? Have I been like Thirumalai Nambi? Have I been like Embarmana? She quotes so many Vaishnava Sampradaya events in her colloquial way, and in that there is so much wisdom and treasure she is expressing. Ramanujacharya got stunned. Oh, okay, the people here have got so much wisdom, so much knowledge. By just looking at their external thing, we can't rate or we can't weigh anyone. Everyone has got wisdom. So everywhere there is a process of learning. Now I'll just get into that other one. This is on the wise side. What is that is happening? Obviously, there's a person coming from north. His name is Yangyamurthy, and this guy's job is to go and prove that he is the superior. Everywhere, on the bottom on that style. Okay, so he wanted to prove his. So he keeps blasting all the other regional gurus or acharyas, and when the local guru sees that a person of this caliber is coming, then they will be worried. How do we manage this confrontation on the back? But with Perumal's blessings, even though the debate gets along for more than 18 days, Ramanujacharya is able to convince against the Mayavada of Yangyamurthy and says the Vishishtadvaita is the best suitable thing for elevating today's generation. So that happens, and at the end, he falls in the feet of Ramanuja, and he also started following Ramanujacharya's philosophies. Now, that is the elderly stage wisdom. But the wisdom expressed by Ramanujacharya was not stopping there. It has gone down to so many generations down. Like how Ramanujacharya started treating everyone as equal, and how Ramanujacharya was not working without any caste and creed. He opened the gates for everyone to come inside temple. Those principles were followed by so many other people. Today in India, if every community people are able to walk into temple, it all started 1000 years back with Ramanujacharya's first step of allowing the Harijan into the Selvanarayana Tirukottai Melkottai temple as a thanking them. Now, what we are trying to say here is Vivekananda, Ramakrishna, you take any other religious leaders here, all their principles and protocols are all rooted back to Ramanuja. Ramanuja is the person, he opened the gap, and subsequently everyone started putting into different streams actually. He's the main dam, he opened the door. After that water started flowing and it started irrigating the multiple lands. So that's how we see Ramanuja as the nodal point. Now, when I was talking about that, Ramanuja opened gates for every community to go and pray in the temples. After literally about 800 years, 900 years, Mahatma Gandhi came inside, and Periyar and other people came inside. That's where, again, they were working hard against caste system, breaking the caste system, making equal rights and everything. Mahatma Gandhi promoted a concept called Harijan. Instead of calling them as SC, ST, or the lower category people, he put the word Hari, Hari Narayan, Hari in front of them, and he was trying to elevate their caste or creed or the name attached to them. It's a brand name, you can say. So instead of saying them as Ili Kulatto, as lower category people, Mahatma Gandhi put the word Hari, Harijan, Harijinuடைய Janangal. That happened about 150 years back. But Ramanujacharya did the same thing 1000 years back. What Ramanujacharya did is, when they allowed people, Harijan people inside the temple, he started calling them as Tirukulatto. Thiru is here, Tirumangari, Tirumang. Okay, Sri. So, Mahatma Gandhi is putting the word Hari in front of them. Ramanujacharya long back has put mother's name in front of them. So, see the impact on the societal information. So, on Mahatma Gandhi, we don't need to talk. On Vivekananda, we don't need to talk. But if we understand these people took inspiration somewhere from Ramanuja, or the water opened from that dam has flown down, and these fruits we have got, we have obtained, that's where we see the true wisdom of Ramanuja. Now here I am going to talk about quickly about follower and opposers. Okay, there are many followers. Obviously, when a person with high wisdom is there will be people around trying to draw wisdom, true devotees and others. So now, in the followers, I'm going to talk about Kidambi Achan. Kidambi Achan, most of us know that he is one of the true follower or a devotee disciple, identified by Tirukosti Nambi as a private cook, Madapalli Acharya. So his job is to cook a proper food that suits Ramanuja and ensure that it is served with all the devotion, care and affection and love. Now, in Srirangam, the Perumal Mula is going, Tiruther is moving, and Ramanuja, everyone is going and then praying in front of that chariot. So Ramanuja calls, Kidambi, come, Perumal is coming in the street, let us go and pray. Kidambi Achan says, Unga Perumal ninga paranga, enga Perumal gana paala na paakren. Which means, you go and pray to your Lord, I am boiling milk for my Lord. If I come and see your Lord, milk for my Lord will get spoiled. I don't want to offer spoiled milk to my Lord, so I want to stay here. Okay, so this is the kind of true devotion those people are seeing. And what we are seeing here is the link. Even if you don't see Perumal directly, if your link with your Acharya is correct and full tight, it is the job of Acharya to take you to the Perumal. I read a correlation here where they were saying the traffic signal and how we stand in the traffic signal. Imagine there are 20-30 cars waiting in a signal. The person in the 18th or 19th car, he won't see that signal whether it is turning red or green. All that he knows is what is in front of him. If that moves, he is going to move. If that stops, he is going to stop. So they say the correlation between Acharya is you just blindly follow Acharya. Acharya takes you to the Dharma. Everyone here is linked like that. Okay, now, why should I follow this car? It's a good question. Then they say, and how that humbleness comes. I listened to another story 2 days back in this house only. How do you control? In an interview, I believe that they have asked this question about the GF Swami only. When thousands of people are falling in your food, how do you control your ego? Do you really think you are God or you are part of the God? Was a question asked to them. Then they say, no, we don't see them as our followers or we don't see ourselves as a God. This is a wisdom word by a Guruji. I'm just replicating here. What he has told, we see our followers as followers of our Gurus. We are only a link in between. These people are not my Gurus. These people are not my followers. These people are followers of my Guru. The same way, every Guru's think that they are only Acharyas. People below them are Sishyas to their Acharyas. So no one in that stream thinks that they are really Acharyas. Everyone is Adiyan. So in that way, the Acharya Sampradaya, the Guru Parampara goes and connects those who believe in Guru Acharyas back to the Perumal. Okay, so what you have done seen here is followers. And we all know about in any revolution or any major organization there will be some opposing people also. So in this case, this is when Ramanuja started doing a lot of transformation and changes, obviously the few people there who were thinking that only rituals are the God, not the people, not the Lord themselves, rituals. You have to do this means you have to do that. You should not allow Harijan inside means don't allow. When Ramanuja opened gates, they were not happy, so at some stage they were also trying to poison him. Okay, and in that process is a negative process, I'm not going to go into detail. But what I'm trying to hear, at some stage when Ramanujacharya understands that they are trying to poison, by divine forces he is able to come out, and what he prays to Lord is only that to forgive them. Okay? That is the true compassion he shows to everyone. And when the person who is trying to see that Ramanujacharya's glory is so much, he is also praying for our elevation, they also get truly elevated and they started becoming true devotees. And we all know how today we are having the Ramanuja Rothandari. Okay, so this is talking about followers and opposers. The next one I am going to talk about the younger and the elder. Now, younger and elder. On the children, here we all know about the story where Ramanujacharya has taken a bath in the Kaveri and he is going to Srirangam. In those days when Ramanujacharya was the leading person there, the Tiruvada and the main prasadam, first prasadam will be given to the chief priest, which is Ramanujacharya. So they were all waiting there. Ramanujacharya, after finishing, he is going towards that place and he saw children playing in the street there. And they got their own small temple, they got their own Perumal, everything is happening. And when they see Ramanujacharya coming, they call him and then ask him, come here, we are doing puja, come and take prasadam. So when big Periya Perumal is waiting inside, Ramanujacharya says, okay, no problem, these people are calling and there is a Perumal here, I am going and standing in front of them. So they do their own kids puja and they take the, everything is sand temple, sand Perumal, sand prasadam, everything is sand there. So he comes back and the one child is acting as if he is a chief priest and he does whatever mandala he knows and he offers prasadam to Perumal and comes back and Jir Orlam, he is coming, lying there and then he is coming and standing. So he gives the prasadam back to the Perumal, Embermana, and he takes that and then he takes that in his mouth and then takes it. The next Sishya standing is asking, Guruji, what is happening here? You are eating sand. And when Periya Perumal is waiting there, you are wasting your time here with these kids. Then Ramanujacharya tells them that Perumal is not only inside, Perumal is everywhere. And why are you eating sand is the question. Then they say, even in sand, Perumal is there. Even Ulamunda Peruvai, when the Lord is, he has taken and opened the mouth, the entire globe was seen in his mouth. So he is there everywhere. And there is a true devotion you are seeing, you have to respect. So that's what is the message. Whether it is a kids, give them equal importance, equal value. You don't just attach your importance and focus only on elderly practices. Give equal importance is the kind of message. So now with elder. This is a story about another elderly lady. And when Ramanujacharya was in Tirumala, and there is a Prabandham class or Ramayana class, I think, was happening, and this lady is selling buttermilk. Okay, and her livelihood is only by selling the buttermilk. She has to bring money that day, and she can cook only after that day money is coming back. Otherwise, there is no big saving. She will go and take the buttermilk on loan from someone after selling. Whatever money comes, she has to go and pay them back. And whatever is small leftover, she has to buy her grocery. Now, she sits and listens to the Ramanujacharya. There are so many people, followers listening. And everyone, due to the thirst, they are going and take buttermilk from this lady. And no one is having money because she thought it's a function or group organizing, so they may be paying. At some stage, there is no money to give, and Ramanujacharya was not also having money that time, I was told. So, she understands that he is a guru, big Guruji, Acharya. So Ramanujacharya says, oh, today I don't have money, maybe tomorrow you come and collect. She says, no, I don't want money from you, Acharya. Then what do you want? And she says, everyone is telling that you are giving, you are having the right to take people to moksha. So I need a seat for me. Give me a visa, okay, or recommendation letter for visa, with which I may be able to reach Vaikuntha or moksha. Then Ramanujacharya says, no, the people are bluffing me. I don't have any sense, right? You have to follow and you have to surrender yourself. No, I believe in you. Okay? Now you give me a seat. But since this lady was so much determined, Ramanujacharya just called her. He writes, what's the seat to go? Give her tickets, give her opening. So it is told that this lady, on taking this moksha ticket, she goes and surrenders in front of Tirumala Perumal, and she really attains moksha. She surrenders there. Like how Tirupanalvar, on seeing those 10 pasurams, Samananadibran, he sees one by one, Padadikesam. After seeing the eyes of the Perumal, he says, Kanda Kangal, Matrundinai Kanade, and in that process it is told, he surrenders and merges with Perumal. Andal, when she comes to Srirangam, she surrenders and it is told that she merges with Perumal. The same way, it is not only the top people like wisdom people, the old elderly lady who was not having any wisdom, who was living on a day-to-day life. she was also blessed with moksham with the ticket of Ramanuja. That is the message we are giving. So now, the next one is how he interacted with physically challenged and also strong people. Now, when you talk about physically challenged, we know like Ramanujacharya in his team, there are so many followers and they were all doing a lot of kaigaryams. They follow wherever he goes. They sacrifice so many things. They live a mean life. They undergo a lot of pains and sacrifices, right? Now, Ramanujacharya, one day he was standing in his mud, and then there's a person crossing, and he's not having senses like listening or speaking. A woman Kurdu, Sevidu. With all his compassion, Ramanujacharya calls him inside, and he is trying to teach him some good things in life. Unfortunately, he cannot. So he says every other Shishya to go out, and he takes only the person who is physically challenged inside a room, and it is told that Ramanujacharya instructed him to touch his feet, which never happens obviously, because people go and voluntarily fall in the foot of Guruji. Guruji will never say, you come and fall in my feet. Okay, that is the, we don't know about what's happening today, in today's political scenario. I'm not comparing, I'm talking about what's happening about 1000 years back. So what happened when Ramanujacharya took this guy, physically challenged him inside a room, everyone got curious, including Kuratalwan. So now, Kuratalwan started watching through a small gap in the window. Those days, it's not fully sealed houses, right? So watches what's happening. Then when Ramanujacharya shows his feet, and this guy goes and touches his feet, or there are stories which says Ramanujacharya put his feet, holy feet on this guy's head. You leave that, but the message there is your Acharya Sambandha. Okay? So the person who was challenged was not having a guru. So this guy, Ramanuja, gave him an opportunity for an Acharya Sambandha. By touching the foot of Acharya, you get an Acharya Sambandha. That's it. That's what we carry Acharya's foot everywhere. By seeing that, the Kuratalwan gets shocked. Oh, I have been living with you so long. I was not able to get this privilege, but he was called inside, and Ramanujacharya himself is offering his direct Sambandha. Oh, what with all these senses, what is that I have gained? Without these senses, I may have got it much earlier. Like that, he is worried. Now, there is a story here. The physically challenged person is an incarnation of Arjuna. Arjuna, even though he had the opportunity to live in Krishna's world, Krishna was charioteer, driving him. Krishna gave entire Gita Upadesha to Arjuna. He could not attain moksha, Vaikuntha, because he was not having an Acharya Sambandha. Okay, so in his second birth, he was blessed to go and get your Vaikuntha ticket through him, and then only you can come back. Krishna has told that message and he has left it. Okay, that's how that story is given. See, what we are trying to see here is we may not be able to go and find the real historical link everywhere. The message shown here is the importance of Acharya Sambandha and the compassion of Ramanujacharya towards whether you have to be a physically strong person. He is a good volunteer, so give him more affection. But this guy can't do anything for me, so what is there in him? No, nothing like that. He was having a true compassion and equal care and love and affection to everyone. Now, next one I will talk about mentally courageous. One is challenged, the other one is courageous. Here, those days, Tirumala was not so popular. There was a temple. There are references in books like 2000 years back around that. But obviously, because of the climate, the difficulty in reaching there, people have to literally walk, cross a lot of dangerous animals and things like that. It was not so popular. So Ramanujacharya, with his futuristic thinking, like how it is going to be today in Tirumala, he wanted to go and develop that in those days. And he wanted to build a Nandavanam there, where he can take flowers and offer to Brahma. So obviously in those days, if someone has to go out and live and then start building a beautiful garden to grow the flower and then offer it to God, we need a big team of people, or we need a person with good courage, determination, you can say. So among the devotees, he is asking, is there anyone who is volunteering to go and do this? Everyone talks to themselves, oh, it's too cold, tiger will be there. So, no, they just want to be at the foot and then do a little job and then go out. The one person puts his hand and says that Ananda Alwan, I'm Guruji, if you permit me, I'm happy to go and do this Kaigarya. So Ramanujacharya says that among all these people, he is the only on, who is the only male, who is ready to go and then serve God. So that's the kind of message he said. So what I'm trying to see here, there is another big, I believe there is another lecture on Ananda Alwan himself. I'm not going into that. I'm just trying to compare how Ramanujacharya managed a physically challenged person and a mentally courageous people, and how he used them for the right purposes. Okay? இதனால் இவன் முடிப்பான் என்றாய்ந்து அதனை அவன்கண் விடல். It is a Tirukkural which says, before you allot a job to anyone, understand his capabilities, his skill sets, and what kind of tools he needs, equip him and give him the task. So that's the kind of administrative skill sets Ramanujacharya had. Okay, so next one is Jains and Muslims, and I think we discussed about how he managed Jains and questions a little bit earlier. And on the Muslims, we all know that when the Muslim people invaded South, they robbed many temples and then took all the idols and then went back. Ramanujacharya, with all his wisdom, he went back to Delhi. He debated with people there. He explained the spiritual importance of these idols, and he could take them back. And in that process, those who fell in love with Lord there also followed. And Ramanujacharya, beyond all these religious circles, he invited everyone. He accommodated everyone. And the Selvappillai B.B. Kalyanam was also held. That's what it is told. So Perumal has got multiple Devimas. One of the Devimar is called Thulukanachiyar, and that temple is there inside our Srirangam. So we all see that. Okay, so here what I am trying to see here, only after Ramanujacharya came into led the Sampradaya, he broke the boundary, not only caste but also the religion. Other religion people are also given some importance, and they were also taken into the Sampradaya. Okay, so the next topic is going to be software and hardware. So what is this software and what is this hardware? 1000 years back, what is this software? So what I am trying to refer here is the Koil Olugu. Koil Olugu. Koil Olugu is a temple management protocol. Okay? How the daily pujas need to be performed, what kind of festivals, at what time what has to be done, and what kind of prasadams are to be prepared, who will prepare what, and what ratios things need to go, and how wealth has to be distributed, who will do what function inside, what kind of skill sets are required. All those things are written, and it is a set of protocol. Okay, when I say software, I'm saying it is codes. Okay, it is codes. It's not in the form of computer program, but it is in the form of a book. Now, the significance of this book is over 1000 years. Today, if you go to Srirangam, they still refer back to the book itself. The validity of that book is there is no revision 1, revision 2, revision 8, no Microsoft 97, 98. It is the same book. Ramanujacharya had the wisdom and foresight thought, after many years, many decades, many centuries, he was able to have the common rules written. So that's what I'm calling as Koil Olugu as a software. Yeah.
Koil Olugu actually came to be written after Ramanujacharya.
Okay.
And it's not about temple protocol. It's like a diary of what happened in Srirangam, began to be kept by the chief priests.
Okay.
Now the protocol that you talk about is actually the Pancharatra Agama that Ramanuja used. And he privileged the Pancharatra Agama over other Agamas in temple worship.
Okay, agreed. I heard this. I read this article which are controversial, like there is no reference about Ramanuja even in Srirangam temple, in other the sculptures and things like that which are 1000 years back. And the people fighting on that, I am keeping it, because earlier as I said, if you start chasing few things on historical route, it might be difficult. What we are trying to see here is, during Ramanujacharya's period, whatever protocols he set, may have been captured by a person at a later date. I'm not denying. But these practices started primarily by him. It's not 100% by him. It's primarily organized by him, and he put a code around that. This is how the festivals will happen around that. Okay? So he was one among the person who set the protocols of festivals even in Tirumala. We all understand that. Okay, thanks for that input. Now, on the hardware, I'm showing a lake on the right side. Okay, so it's not adequate if you just do prayers and then protocols inside the temple. When people are starving, they also need the infrastructure. Okay, so when earlier we discussed Ramanuja, when there was a problem in Srirangam, he went to Melkotai, which is in the Karnataka, and near that there is a place called Tondano, and that's where Ramanuja found the Krishna's idol in the lake, it seems. And this Krishna was originally kept by Alavandar, and during the Muslim invasion, they took it and then they were all scattered everywhere. Now Ramanujacharya, understanding the condition of those regions, he, using his team of people, he started building a lake by storing the water in the region, and that is called Modi Talap Lake. And even today there are clear sculptures which shows that Ramanujacharya was the chief architect for this lake. Okay, so kind of water management, we all know that Neerindri Amayadu Uladu, which means there is no world without water. Okay, so in addition to setting rules and protocols inside the temple, Ramanujacharya was also doing things for the infrastructure development. That's what I'm explaining here. Now the next element I'm going to talk is Tamil Vedam and also Sanskrit. So I got into the great divine team here because of the Tamil Vedam, which is Nalayana Divya Prabandham. We have a team of people who assemble and then recite Divya Prabandham on a weekly basis. And it is told that Nalayana Divya Prabandham, written by Alvars, was with the direct wish of Perumal himself. Because Perumal, after taking so many incarnations, he was having his worry, because I have taken so many incarnations, but still people are not changed. They are not still bonded around materialistic things. They are not seeing the bigger truth. They are not working for the moksham and Vaikuntham. They are again working for the rebirth inside. What do I do? So he asked everyone, what do I do? He calls Sri Devi, and I think this is a learning again. Sri Devi and asked, can you go and do something for me? Because I'm not thinking 11th Avatar is going to help here. She says, no. During your Rama Avataram, I came and see that those people made a lot of trouble there. I don't want to go. I want to just live in Vaikuntham and then be happy. So at some stage, all other Perumal's Avarnas become one. They offer to become one Alvar, and in that process, Perumal says you go and transfer all the Sanskrit into the regional language, which was Tamil primarily then, and make it in a way that Vedas can be understood easily by people. Okay? So each Alvar is assumed as an incarnation of Perumal's Avarna. The same way Puma Devi also agrees and then comes down as Anda. So even though Alvars wrote all those things, even though it was this Nalayana Devi Prabandhams were popular in few temples in the south, it was Ramanujacharya during his Digvijaya around India, he made Divya Prabandhams as one of the important portion of temple practice, even in north or even in Tirumala, even in other places. It was Ramanujacharya who took this Prabandham, or who revived this Prabandham. Okay, so that's where I got connected to Ramanuja. So now, one side, Ramanujacharya being a person who was born in Tamil Nadu, celebrating his language or spreading his language is okay. But Tiraigadalodiyum Tirayam Jedi, which means you have to go and search treasure in every place and then bring it to your people, is Bharatiya's word. Same way, Ramanujacharya, he was working for Veda. He wanted that lot of Urai, explanations. And he has written lot of all his major books are all written on Sanskrit. So the level of expertise he has gained is truly amazing. And there are many books I may have read, like Sri Bhashyam is one of the major books, Vedanta Ashra, and Gita Bhashya. So many things are there. I'm not expert in Sanskrit, even though I'm trying to learn Sanskrit just to understand what that Taniyans means. That's my level. I'm here. Adiyanikam Adiyanam. So, what I'm saying here, he was broadcasting what was the treasure in his language. He was going and learning other languages and then writing bhashyas in those languages. And those bhashyas are even today treated as the peak of those Vedas. See, for example, today when we say Sahasranama, we don't talk about Shiva Sahasranama or Lakshmi Sahasranama. Sahasranama means it is Vishnu Sahasranama. For other Sahasranamas, you have to say it is Shiva Sahasranama or Lakshmi Sahasranama. But when we say plain Sahasranama, it is Vishnu Sahasranama. The same way, Bhashya is an illustration or explanation tool. That's that. There are so many Bhashyas for other topics also, but normally when they say Bhashya, they talk about Ramanujacharya's Bhashya. That is how the word important. Okay, so now I think we are almost coming to the final one. So we have been talking about so many things, Ramanuja's interactions and impact, incidents with various cross-section of people, and we know how he handled them with utmost care and humanity. He was treating everyone equal, he was working for the elevation of everyone. We also have many stories or many incidents, narrations around what was his interaction with God himself. Okay, so the first thing is my Kuladeva, which is Tirumalirinjolai. Ramanujacharya is also called Tirupavajiya. He recites pasurams everywhere. And in one of the Nachiyar's pasuram, Nachiyar Tirumali, there is a pasuram which comes as Nuru Narambodil Malirinjolai Nambiki, Nuru Daravil Venne Nerdu Paragi Rete, Nuru Daravil Akara Vadisar Adichu Sonne, Yeru Tiruvadiyan, Indra Ivai Kollum Kalo. Which means, in Nachiyar Tirumali, when she is praying for Kannan, she is writing Mangalasasanam to various Parmas. In one of the Mangalasasanam for the Tirumalirinjolai Nambi, he is saying that I will cook so much prasadam for you, Nuru Tada. Okay, and can you come and then bring my Kanna? Can you come as Kanna to me? So this is her pasuram. So Ramanujacharya comes later and he reads that pasuram. He lives in that world. Oh, Andal sang a pasuram like that. Did she really offer that prasadam? Because when you have got a Nertikadan, we say, when you have got a commitment to a God, you have to follow and fulfill that. So Ramanujacharya had a doubt whether Andal has already done that or not. I am not sure, there is no record. So let me go and do it on behalf of Andal. So Ramanujacharya with his team, when he visits Tirumalirinjolai, he makes all those Nuru Tada, Akara Vadisal, and Akara Vadisal, how to prepare all those things. Please listen to Velguis. He has got the full recipe of how to cook and how much milk to add, how much grapes to add. So that, please listen. What I am trying to tell here is, in addition to fulfilling the needs of people, common people, Ramanujacharya had a thought that those who already were lived and merged with God, whatever commitments they had, whether they got fulfilled or not, if there are any gaps, he was trying to fulfill them. Okay, that's the kind of message number one. The message number two is that Selvapillai, when he went to north to bring back the Selvapillai, which were taken by the Turkish invasion, it is told that the girl who was keeping the Perumal as a doll was not ready to part and give it back. So king was not able to give it back. Even the king wanted to give it back, king was not able to give it. The daughter is saying, no, this is my doll. And at that stage it is told Ramanuja could invite Perumal to come with him. And in that process Perumal moved, literally, physically moved, and then came and sat in the lap of Ramanuja. That's why that Perumal in Melgoda is called Selvapillai. And Ramanuja, he came and sat in his lap, so that's why he got Selvapillai. The other one is Thirukurungai Nambi. Thirukurungai Nambi, after seeing the glory of Ramanuja, Oh, I took 10 avatars. I could not change so many people. Now that you have come and literally it is, everyone has started following your principles. What's happening here? Can you teach me what miracles you have got? What is your secret? Then Ramanuja says, okay, I can teach you, but don't sit there. If you want to listen something from me, come down. It's a fun story, but I'm just sharing with you. So it's told that Tirukuri Nambi came as a Shishya to Ramanuja, offered a seat at an elevator place, and started listening. So Tirukuri Nambiki, he was an Acharya. And the Acharya Sambandham is not only shown there, when there was a debate happening around Tirumala temple, whether it is a Saiva temple or Vaishnava temple, the Ramanujacharya took the lead in settling that dispute, and he offered to keep both Acharya.
Panja Samaskara.
No, 1 second.
Sangha
All the items, weapons. Okay, weapons are the Panjayidam from Perumal, and on the other side, Sivan side, Rutram and other things. And he locked the room, and it is told next day, whichever god, whichever Abharna he wants, he will wear the Abharna. I was looking for the word Abharna. The next day, it's believed that the Lord in Tirumala took the Abharna, which was kept by Acharya Ramanuja. So in that process, since Ramanujacharya gave the Sangha and Chakram to the Perumal in Tirumalai, for those who are getting Sangha Chakra from Acharya, they become Acharya, and the person receiving becomes Shishya. So here it is told Ramanujacharya has become an Acharya to Tirumala in Tirumala itself. Okay, that's the kind of relationship we see from Ramanujacharya and his God. Okay, so I think I have come to the end here. So what we are trying to do here is how Ramanujacharya interacted with various sector, cross-section of people, how he handled poor and rich equally, warriors and kings, and how he transformed their thought from materialistic thing or worldly beauties to divine beauties. And we also saw how Shishyas and Gurus and how they play a role. It is not, the relation between Guru and Shishya is not about any egos. It is not about limiting anyone's skills or wisdom. It is opening and connecting you with Narayana. So that's the message we saw. Innocent and wise. Ramanujacharya was never having the ego that I am the Acharya, I don't have anything to learn from people. He was ready and open. He was learning from every small girl to a village lady to a Palkari, everyone he was learning. Then followers and opposers. How he was able to leverage his followers and put them on the top of the thing. In fact, Kuresar was able to get Vaivindam assurance well before Ramanuja himself. We saw that. And we also saw how Ramanuja prayed for the person who was trying to poison him itself. Okay, so that's a kind of empathy and kindness we are showing on the enemies also. Then there are a few elements like family life and saint life. We have discussed about how the Uranga Villi and Ponnachi were there. The story goes further like that, like the Ponnachi and Uranga Villi got, while, oh, you disturbed the Shishya's act of removing your money. So in that process you have done a sin. So I don't want to live with you because you thought that ornament is yours. You had a concept of my money. So I don't want to live with you like that. Urangaveli says, Urangaveli, who was just behind her, putting the umbrella and things like that, had a total transformation, said, you said it is your money, so I am not going to accept that. I am not going to live with a person who thinks that it is my money. When someone has that my, yen and akhandai, nan enbada, enan enbada, and akhandai, I don't want to live with a person that has got an ego, it is my ornament. So he says, I will go out, I don't want to live with you. So the issue becomes big within the mud. Urangaveli relieves that, no, I don't want to live with you. Then Ponnachi goes to Ramanuja, cries and says that, oh, I was also offering only Acharya, but Ponnachi is not, Urangaveli is not understanding it in the right sense. So Ramanuja calls Urangaveli and says, what's happening? She was ready to help you. She was also supporting you. No, Guruji, she was having a view that it is her money. I don't want to live with a person who is thinking that it is her money. Everyone should think it is Lord Perumal's money, it is Acharya's money, it is for the Kainariam. Then the issue becomes tuffle between Ramanuja and Urangaveli. Then at some stage it seems that Ramanuja said, okay, if you don't want to live with her, is it okay if I get her married to someone else? Then Urangaveli says, it seems okay. Then Ramanujacharya, to give a shock treatment, it seems, the Ramanujacharya said, okay, now that Urangaveli has relieved Ponnachi, I am saying that she is no more his wife. Is there anyone else who is going to take Ponnachi? Is the question he asked. What's happening here in the mud? A lady, married lady, is being offered as ready and available for a second marriage. Then it is another Thiruvilayadal by Ramanuja. At some stage when no one is ready to take them because it is Guru's Thiruvilayadal, people are really worried. He says, okay, if no one is taking, now I want to appreciate the bhakti of Urangaveli, and to honor his bhakti, I am going to give him a gift. Okay? And the best gift I can give to him is Ponnachi herself. Okay? So that's how Ramanuja reconnects Ponnachi back to Urangaveli. That's why I am telling, it is not a saint life, it is not the married life. Wherever you are, if you are not having that me or my, it's all his, it's all acharyas, then we live a truly elevated life. Okay, that's the family life and saint life. We also talked about the elder and child, how we equally treated. We saw about Hindus and non-Hindus, Jains and Muslims, and regional and national. We talked about Tamil and Sanskrit languages. And in that process, I think I made an effort like a small baby, playing around the streets of Srirangam, trying to make my temple. And when Rajagopalachari introduced me, Krishna used to come and destroy all these child sand houses, and in that place the kids will cry. I'm not going to cry, I'm going to call Krishna to come and damage my house. In that process, if his feet is able to come and then touch me or touch my small work, I'll be privileged. Thank you very much, and thank Jet Australia for giving me